Hello everyone, I'm High Treason. You know what, I've come to the conclusion, let's turn this down. I've come to the conclusion that the RAM deck on this GT750 is really not as good as the one on my 730. I mean, that did higher resolutions. It did a better job of this resolution. I've got all kinds of noise in the picture. Very bad. Room layout's changed a little bit since I recorded the last part. Do we have any oil in here? If we've got oil, I'll put that bus engine in. Don't exactly need a lot. It doesn't tend to spawn in engines. If we put that petrol engine in, our car will go faster. It's alcohol. There's a lot of alcohol in here. It's a moonshine shack. Got some prime moonshine going in here. Hooey! Yeehaw! There we go. Fine. This won't work very well because I don't have a lot of oil, but I've only just uploaded the first part, but I already know someone is going to bloody ask me to do this. I'll oblige. Despite the potential physics fuckery. Well, fuck having to turn the engine around, it's just shit. Yeah, the car will run like this. Now, the thing here is, we could lose our engine doing this. Jeez. It's going to accelerate really fast, but as you can see, I'm at full gas pedal. We're pretty much topping out on speed. There you go, it'll do 120 and it'll guzzle fuel like it's going out of fashion, so we don't really want that engine. Just spin the wheels pretty good though, I'll admit. Yeah, could be fun. If we put the big wheels on, it will go faster, but then it makes the car unstable. But there you go, we did it, because I'm pretty certain someone somewhere is going to ask me to do this, and this car's front wheel drive, isn't it? I reckon. Yeah, sure handles like it. It's crap European car. Now to get the engine out without destroying my car. So this could be an issue here. I don't think we've broke anything important. But there you go. There are things you can do. Did we break anything? It don't look like it, does it? Turn those lights off, get our frame rate back. Right, let's continue. Our starting distance is 50k, that's convenient. I don't actually have a lot of time tonight, I only have a half hour, and this car is not real fast, so it's not real slow either, but I don't know that we'll be able to make our target today either. But we'll try in this desolate wasteland, where there is nothing particularly nice. There's no women, there's no real anything. No music. Well, we do have radio. I will listen to the radio at some point. But I suppose now I should tell you I know we're heading the right way. The posts are always on the right. And I overreacted a little bit there to that rock. Posts are always on the right. And another thing you might notice is, you know, I sort of have a rough idea of distance just by watching them. Because they're all exactly 100 metres apart. I mean, you don't have to follow the road. Exactly, we're driving too fast. This car is really only good to about 120k and then the handling gets shit. You can do it, but requires a bit more concentration than I'd like whilst I'm trying to talk at the same time. If I was on my own, I'd maybe drive a bit faster, but, you know, because I'm with you, I don't think we want to have a crash. This thing doesn't have airbags in it. But I figured I'd drive fast just to show you how squirrely it gets. So yeah, somewhere around here is good enough. This should make us good progress, about 100, 120. There is a variant of this car which I would drive a little bit faster. That's another boat out there, I think. Don't reckon we need that right now. It might have broke a bumper off or something. Now those hubcaps we stick on, we don't strictly need them. Oh no, that's a big rock. We don't strictly need those, but I actually put them on because it seems they're more likely to fall off than wheels if you do hit something, and I would rather lose wheel trims than actual wheels. I'm not driving too good today. It doesn't really matter too much. It's late. I'm going to bed real soon. I don't know, maybe I'll do a quick bit of drawing first. I want to draw Alice from Alice in Wonderland, been force-fed rat poisoned by the Mad Hatter. I have a bit of a vendetta against Alice in Wonderland. I think she started the curse. I think I explained last time what every girl I ever went out with wanted to do in front of me, and well, yeah, I think it was a girl in a pinafore dress like that one that kind of started the curse. I could tell you about it. Maybe I should. I mean, you know, it's what you do on long road trips, isn't it? Is you tell stories that you probably wouldn't tell otherwise. It's not very interesting. You know, it was like when I was really little, right? Like, it was weird because I'm pretty certain I'd seen my mother sat on the throne and just never really looked at it because it just didn't interest me, you know, it's just a thing people do. And then sort of with some girl, may or may not have been a cousin of mine, you know, I took a leak in my grandparents' garden because I couldn't be bothered to go inside, and you know, the girl starts having a go at me, oh, you can't do that. It's like, you know, you know, only because you don't do it sort of thing. And dart her into it, and it's like, oh, that's how that works. That's not very interesting, you know. Fair enough. And then, shit, I'm sorry about the noise. My drawing pad just caught my microphone there. Looks like it should be alright. Then I went to the park, and it was like a real hot day, and so we got ice creams, and because it was like so hot, we went and hid away in these bushes in the back corner of the park, and as everyone these would start. And as we sat there, like, the path sort of turns a corner, like, you know, just a few feet away. And this girl comes round, a little bit older than we were at the time, and, you know, she comes round the corner with her mother, hands pressed into her crotch firmly, obviously absolutely busting. And her mother kind of looks grumpy with her, lets her run off towards where we are, and she stops a short distance away, didn't seem to notice we was there. She has this Alice in Wonderland dress on, only it's red. Like, she stands in front of this tree, drops her knickers, and just sort of leant back, like pushed her hips out, and just squirted this arc against the side of the tree. So I'm having to go at this girl I'm there with, like, hey, you told me girls didn't do that. It's like, well, they do. Well, she does. You just rubbish at it or something. But yeah, I think that's where the curse began. The Alice-looking girl's mother didn't half slap her when she went running back to the path. But yeah, I think that is where the problems went and started. And that's why I want to draw Alice being poisoned by the Mad Hatter. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to need more jizz spray to clean this up. I want to clean them tyres as well. There's 16 in it. Here's the thing a lot of people don't know either. You can refill things. Yeah, even paint. Did you know we can paint the car? Well, now you know we can paint the car, so yeah, that's the thing you can do. It's a bit dark, isn't it? Okay, that should be pretty much perfecte mundo now. Thought there was a hubcap, there is. That needs a bit of jizzing on. Maybe it doesn't. Shit. Wasted valuable jizz spray. That one sure as shit doesn't. I think the tyre could do with a bit there. I hope you're not scared of rabbits. I'm not scared of rabbits. If they come over here, I'll bravely run away from them. And maybe they'd just suicide themselves in like fear. Like, oh god, that guy, he's crazy. It's like talking about girls in Alice in Wonderland dresses and stuff. He's out of his fucking mind. Good enough. I'm sure there's more in there, but hell, I don't need it. It's desert. It's basically hell, isn't it? I mean, would you want to hang out here? Yeah, now you know. The curse. It's a real thing. Something the world devised just to mess with me. You might notice food and stuff. There is a survival mechanic in this game, but when I started playing this game it wasn't a thing, and to be honest it just doesn't feel right to me. If you really want me to turn it on, I'll think about it, but it's not really going to improve anything, because I'm not going to end up dying to starvation or something. So all it's going to do is slow us down. Now if you really, really want me to do it, I'll do it for a while, but oh dear. But yeah, the curse, I guess, kind of led up to things I might have mentioned otherwise that I'll tell you later that are far more disturbing. I mean, you know, that's kind of innocent enough, really, and it's just a young girl being rather silly. But nah, I've seen some really horrible things, and I guess I'll maybe share them with you later, just because that's what I always seem to do on this channel, isn't it? But yeah, it makes me glad I don't really hang about with girls so much now, you know. All the horrible things. Now it's just me, my car, and a desert. Stupid desert. I really hate this desert. It's not very nice. It smells funny. And the sand gets bloody everywhere. Awful. Definitely awful. Tell you what though, we're doing alright here. We probably will only make half distance. Like I say, it'll improve as we go along. Especially if I'm less knackered when I record. I didn't sleep well yesterday. Neighbours have been doing their kitchen for 7 fucking weeks. It's a 9x5 fucking room. I could have built a new house in the amount of time they've been doing that. There's contractors. So, you know, make a note of which contractors and then never hire them myself. There again, I generally don't hire contractors. If I want something done, I'll do it myself anyway, because I can do it to the spec that I want. I'm not incompetent. And I don't do repairs on this house because it's a piece of shit and I'm not allowed to anyway. I mean, if I really wanted to work on it, the fact I'm not allowed wouldn't stop me. It never did in the old house, but nah, since I moved into this house, it's been a good few years now, I've only repaired one light fitting and a leak under the sink, and if I ever give the house back and move somewhere else, the council will get it back with the leak and the broken electrics and the mould and the rot and the other broken electrics and the holes in the floor and the holes in the wall and the missing windowsill and the broken boiler and holes in the floor, and basically everything that was wrong. And I filmed this house before I even signed for it, and I made a note of these things, so if they try finding me, it's like, I reported it to you before I even signed for the property, you promised me it would be fixed. It was never fucking fixed. had inspections every year because of your fucking targeted harassment shit, and like, yeah, you know, you'd still never fucking fixed it. So it's not my fault. I'll just not pay the fine, and if it means that much to you, I was hoping that ship would be in the road. If it means that much to you, you drag me to the courtroom, and I will just get the SD card and play the recording in the courtroom, and then you'll look really, really stupid, won't you? I did put one hole in the wall, and I will pay for that, and I'll admit I did that. The rest of it you can fuck off. You don't give me a fucking what should be a condemned building. Of course the surveyors and shit are employed by the council, so they're not going to tell you this. I've considered hiring my own. They're expensive, but it would be interesting if you just went, you shouldn't be living in here. Really shouldn't. The joists are rotten, and the structure's moved several inches in a lot of places. There's not really anything holding this building up. So, at a moment's notice, my ceiling could go, my floor could go. The council just, I would just put a carpet over that. It's like, I can stick my fingers under the skirting boards now. I can stick my fingers outside from certain parts of the building. And I don't really like that, because this neighbourhood has a trash problem. There's no fucking trash collection, really, very often. So, like, there's always garbage, and so you get to summer, and then you get a massive fucking rodent problem, and no one on the road kills them, because, oh, well, it's used to them bin there. It's like, I don't want fucking mice in my house. I love mice. I had pet mice, and they're some of the best pets I ever had, but I don't want varmints, you know. And it pains me to do it, but if mice come in my house, I will kill them. Because they're a nuisance, they destroy things, they spread fucking, like, ailments. You can't just have mice running about in your house. And so I will kill them if they come in, no one else does. And there's always a garbage problem. So every fucking year you get this massive fucking rodent problem, and I'm about the only person who does anything about it. And so it never goes away, because the trash never goes away. We just pile that in an alcove at the end of the street, which I call the piss pile. Well, I do call it the piss pile, because I walked to the fucking shop one day, and I come back, and there's this fucking schoolgirl stood there, like, here mate, fucking, will you just fucking stand there while I fucking have a piss? It's like, I'd rather not, but I'm like, well, if I don't fucking stand here, she might get some creep. So, I'd just turn my back and let her get on with it, but it's like, oh, great, as if my neighbourhood wasn't already fucking classy enough. Now we have this shit to fucking put up with. The cast, it's a thing, I'm telling you. At least I don't have to see it that time, I suppose. It wouldn't really bother me that much, so I'm pretty much desensitised. But, yeah, not nice, horrible. Gives you good material for, writing silly things and stuff. Like, I can kind of make fun of the whole thing. It's like most horrible things that happen, you don't dwell on them, you don't sit there, oh, this really horrible thing happened to me. You're like, no, you know what? Like, I'm going to make something out of that. I'm going to make something productive out of this. I'm not going to sit and be miserable about it. I mean, be miserable for a while if, like, something bad happens. Like, I don't know, so, like, say something small, like, say your PC breaks, right? Be miserable the PC broke. But then look at why it broke. What happened to make that go wrong? Oh, you fitted a cheap power supply. Well, that's probably why it broke. Let's not use those again. Let's build a better PC next time that doesn't have a shit power supply in it. And maybe I get it to last more than, like, 2 years. And then maybe, I can joke about that PC being broken or something. Yep, it's Zeph build quality, because it has a fucking deer power supply in it. You just fucking don't sit there and dwell on the fact that it fucking went. There's no fucking point. I mean, like I say, you're going to be upset for a while, like annoyed or grossed out or whatever, depending on what the fuck's happened to you. That's just normal. That's human behaviour, and you got to get that out of your system. You can't just be like, no, I refuse to feel that. It'll come back at some point, 10 times worse. It's like being depressed. Like people who get depressed always, how do I stop being depressed? It's like, well, just be fucking depressed. Like, you're not going to get rid of it. And don't take the fucking medication, because that ain't going to help. That ain't going to treat the fucking cause of it. And you probably can't make the cause go away. But there's nothing you can really do to get rid of the depression beyond just ride it out. It'll go away, but your brain needs to do that now. Your brain needs to be in that place, and it needs to be in that state for whatever reason, and it's fucking horrible, and I know because I've fucking been there. It is awful. It is one of the worst fucking things, and the worst thing is you can't even put it into words. And people who've never experienced it do not understand it. And it's fucking shite. But, you know, your brain needs to do that. And it'll go away. It'll probably come back. But you've got to ride it out or it'll come back even fucking worse. Like, there is no way to make that stop. And that's just normal. That's the way your brain's wired. It's going to do these things. They're not always very nice. I mean, the best thing is to, like I say, just put up with it. Write something. Write a fucking letter. You know, when my brain is just getting all cross-wired, whether I'm annoyed or depressed or fucking sexually frustrated or whatever the hell's going on, this car's diesel, don't put that in there. You know, if it wasn't all diesel, we could get away with it if we mix that with oil. I mean, if we just put it in there as it is, destroy the injector seals, it would break the engine, but two-stroke in there. There is a two-stroke car and a two-stroke bike. Two-stroke there as well. It's pretty oil-rich. But yeah, on an old diesel, if you mixed... I mean, you could just run it on plain oil, but if you mixed like a decent amount of oil with gas, it would usually run. You might need it to be warm first though. I mean, you could preheat the thing. I don't recommend doing this. And obviously on these modern fuel-injected shit cars, you've got no chance. You know, I mean, these modern computer-controlled cars, they're not going to like it. Don't do it to those. But if it's some old-timey fucking diesel, you'd be amazed what you can put in it. I mean, I have run diesel engines on like brake fluid and all sorts before now. Which again, I don't recommend any of these things. Don't just fuck about with your car for no reason. You will break it. Bastard. These sponges are pretty much useless at this point, I think. I'm sure they've been nerfed, you know. May have another stage on it. It does. What about this one? It does. Yeah, it's good enough. Try the sponge on that one, I guess. It's handy to have a sponge in your car. You never know when you might have to give someone a scrub down. You know, we could find some lady at the side of the road covered in rabbit shit, and she's like, oh man, I'm so dirty, I need to get clean. I'm like, right, you know what, I'll do it for you. Let you worry, my lady. We'll sort you out. Get your knickers off and everything. We'll scrub all the dirt off you with my magic sponge. And we'll jizz the problem away as well. I think we're only allowed to use that on cars. Yeah, this game's ridiculous, and I love it for it. You can't have games that are a bit ridiculous, it'd be boring. At this point, this car's pretty much perfected, I think. The bumpers and stuff are a bit crap. Maybe, if we didn't lose them. Yeah, they're on there. You know what, they're good enough. This car's pretty much good, and I guess at some point we'll have to look for a new one. what do you say, we do 150k in it, 200k, something like that. I mean, we've only just got it. Depends if we find a really, really good car. So we'll say we'll do 250 in it. But if we find a really good car that we just can't resist, then we'll take that really good car and we'll just chuck this by the side of the road and be like, fuck you, car, you've served your purpose. Now you can just rot. I mean, I hate VW Golf in real life. My mother had one of these fucking early Golfs. One of the worst cars I've ever fucking been in. Every single fucking one of them. The petrol ones, the Polo had the same fucking engine. The cylinder heads in them used to fucking crack. I don't know why they used to crack. They just did, because they were crap. It was an Audi that had the same engine, because I remember arguing with the auto parts store, oh, we don't have that part in for the Volkswagen. Get me this Audi part. Oh no, that won't fit, that's for an Audi. It's the same fucking engine. No, it says Audi on it. Well, that car is the same fucking engine. It uses the same cylinder head. It's just that one has an Audi logo on top. I just waited for the guy to go off shift and came back like, I want this Audi part. And he's like, oh, alright. And what do you know? It fucking fit and worked. You know, all the fucking cooling vanes and everything are all in the same fucking place. Oh no, it's an Audi. The thing is, the official book from Volkswagen had a fucking Audi logo in it and told you, like, you know, pretty directly, like, you could use the same parts. Imagine that on a German car, because now they're all fucking way more proprietary. The transmissions in those fucking things always went bad. The reverse, it was this stupid thing where you had to lift up under the fucking shifter knob. You had to pull this thing up with your fingers, and it was next to first gear, and it would never fucking go in. It would just make a load of crunching. My mum's one was a fucking diesel, and the thing with that is you'd start it up, and it would smirk like fucking hell for ages, and you'd be like, well, that can't be good. Like, maybe the piston rings are bad, you know. It's, smoke's not really that blue, but I mean, you know, maybe it's oil. There's nothing wrong with the piston rings. Gaskets are all fine. Well, maybe the timing's off. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the timing. Well, maybe there's something wrong with the injectors. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the injectors. It didn't matter what we did, it would never stop that smoke. And all I could ever really, the only conclusion I could come to is they said it had a new engine because that car had so clearly been at the bottom of a fucking lake. I know they had replaced the engine, but who's to know that the mileage that they say that engine's done is actually accurate, you know? Like, there's no guarantees with this. And if an engine does a lot of fucking miles, it sounded like a high mileage engine to me. And it was clean as well, and I never trust a car that you're buying that has a clean engine. If it's clean, somebody's been in there for some fucking reason. If the engine's dirty and it's running, then it's like, right, well, nobody's been fiddling with it, so odds are it probably does drive if it starts up and drives. You know, it might not be in very good condition, but I can probably fucking drive the thing. You know, it hasn't had somebody come in and bodge it and fucking bullshit me. But yeah, when engines have a lot of miles, the cylinders tend to oval out a bit because the piston's going up and down in there, and you have piston rings, obviously, and they'll wear down before the cylinder like wall does. It is kind of like usually pressed in like a ring, like into what's actually bored into the engine block. I'm trying to remember the name for that, but yeah, you know, that it tends to go oval after like long miles on the engine. It will wear down, and you know, you can have repairs done, or you can, you know, there's ways around it. But if that's bad, you'll get a load of fucking blow by, and inversely, you'll then get like oil will come up past the piston rings as well. So you sort of think maybe that's something to do with what was going on. Ha! 100% American V8 right there. You'd never see anything like that in a shitty European car, that's for sure. I'm not going to bullshit you, I don't really like European cars, they're fucking boring. People always piss and moan at me, oh, you like American cars and they're inefficient. And, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. Because if you actually look at the gas mileage you can get on an American car, it's not that far off of a fucking European car. Especially as the sizes go up, and it's like, oh, yeah, but the America, like, it's worse fuel. It's like, well, actually, no, because, you know, it's like the Fiat Ulysses Peugeot 06, and I'm sure was it Citroen that used the same chassis and the same engine and everything, same running gear, different bodywork. And the parts were interchangeable. I had another argument that same auto parts store, you can't use the Fiat alternator on the fucking Peugeot. It's like, get bent. The only difference is it says fucking Fiat on that one. Same fucking alternator, you div. Like, it's a 1993 model fucking 1.8 diesel, and there's your fucking problem. It's a big fucking people carrier, it weighs several tons, and it has a 1.8 litre inline 4 engine in it. It's a really efficient engine. It's like, it probably was when you tested it on a frame in ideal conditions, but you're trying to pull a fucking 3-ton vehicle with like 6 people and a load of camping equipment in it up a hill. It's not been very efficient. You know, your America car with its big fucking 6 or 8 cylinder engine, you know, even like a fucking V6, like a fucking 3-point-odd litre V6, is going to probably be more efficient pulling something like that round, because the engine's not working real hard. Modern engines, much as I hate the computer control, are very, very good at saving fuel when they don't need to use it. They don't just chuck fuel at the problem like, yeah, just loads of fuel. You know, that they will reduce the power of the engine when it's not needed, and they don't use so much fuel. That poor fucking thing, you're basically riding the clutch constantly, and of course, once you fucking drop that folly, the poor fucking engine can barely move the car. It's going to have to chuck loads and loads of diesel down its fucking throat, and it will move the car, not very impressively, but you're pretty much hammering the fucker full throttle all the time just to get the fucker up the hill. You know, it stops being very efficient. So, oh, the lights in the distance. I've never seen them be red before. They've always been green. You don't see that very often. The first time I played this game, the whole horizon was just flashing green like that constantly. I almost wonder if it's a feature, because I'm sure there's some things in this game I've not seen yet. But, yeah, you know, I don't know. I swear down. Like, America cars really aren't that inefficient on average, I don't think, compared to Euro cars. Euro cars are so often horribly underpowered. In a little dinky car like this, I guess it don't matter, but people don't really buy little dinky cars like this so much now. But they're a bit weird, because we don't have estate cars anymore. You'd call them a state car. I guess maybe you'd call it a station wagon on the other side of the Atlantic. You don't really see them anymore, and that's a shame, because I like estate cars. They were cool, you know, you could totally use them as a van. And this is the thing, you know, when I said I prefer being on 2 wheels, on 4 wheels I am a bit of a boring bastard. You know, I call European cars boring, but I like vehicles that have some utility to them. So I like vans, and like fucking pickup trucks, and I like those flatbeds that the rag and bone men use. Oh man, the lights. I'd happily drive one of those around. Got a rich neighbourhood, you know, stay out the window. I'll put them in loudspeakers on somehow. How rag bone men do that now. I'm just driving a rich neighbourhood. Rag burn! Oh no, Arthur! Our house prices are going down. We've got gypsies in the neighbourhood. What's wrong with gypsies, you div? People, leave them alone. I fucking wind them up. But the thing, if you have a vehicle like that, you can always get some money. All you got to do is leave a little note, you know, on the notice board in your local corner shop. I have a flatbed truck. I will move your stuff for the cost of fuel plus like however much per hour. and people are like, hey, I don't want to put that shit in my fucking car, like, it's going to get my car dirty, it probably won't fit anyway, and it might damage my car, and I don't want to do that, it's too much effort. Hey, this bloke says he's got a flatbed though, and he'll like move it for like, you know, cost of fucking diesel and whatever, and just a bag of chips worth on the side, or whatever the fuck you want. Oh shit, we'll have this fucking flatbed man, we'll get him to fucking drive that for us. And you just show up like, yeah, I'll drive your fucking stuff, mate. Right, we'll round and cost of fuel up to the nearest fucking tent, and then you'll pay me this much on top of it. Also, that's asbestos, so I have to charge extra because I shouldn't even be moving it. But I'll fucking do it for you. You want me to move it? Or you can put it in your fucking car and move it yourself. I don't want to put that in my car, mate. You fucking move it. I'll just pay for the fucking... It's fucking fine. I look away for half a fucking second. I knew we shouldn't drive at night. Something come off. Something has most definitely come off. With any luck, it's just that headlight. Shit. We lost a gauge. Now you know what happens when you crash. I'm kind of glad that happened, really. I'm not put out by that at all, to be honest. I've played this game long enough where I'm not really going to get upset about crashing my car. But do better sit here until daytime and see if we can find the bits that came off, though. They're not impossible to find again, but I'd like to have them. Just like I'd like to have your man. I already had mine. Just kidding, that's kind of gross, isn't it? But yeah, now there's a headlight. I don't know what distance I've done if I don't have the odometer. Oh, there might be rabbits out here. Good. Need some lunch. I don't know where that gauge has gone, but I want to fucking find it. So I don't really want to drive too far. Where is that boulder? It's not just in the car, is it, the gauge? Because this does happen sometimes. I'd spend ages looking for something and it's already in the fucking car. Oh, we lost a fucking radio. So I don't want to just sleep, because I'm sure I just saw the radio. Because I feel like if I do that, then like it's going to put us right in the middle of the day. Sunup looks to be quite a ways away. Bit of a dilemma here, isn't it? Well, we can do a bit of slow driving round. See, where is the boulder for a start? How is it not there? That has to be it there. Okay, so now we know what sort of line we tumbled on. I thought we took a more aggressive angle than that. Now, is there anything there? This is difficult at night. It really is. It's not easy to do this at night. Oh, jeez. I'm going to roll a cigarette. I can see something out there. I think it's just another rock. See something there. That might be a wheel hub. Give me a moment. You're in a bit of a shit spot here. Let's have a look. I hate grass biomes. I always have a shit time in these grass biomes. They're awful places. They really, really are. Definitely seems to be something there. It does look like hubcaps though. I don't know, that bit's too small. Maybe that is our gauge. Oh, finally the sun's coming up. No, those are hubcaps. You want those on the car. Good God, how far did things get launched? There's a building there. So I'm sure someone's going to be freaking out, oh, rabbits. So I'm really not fucking concerned about rabbits in the slightest. They're just silly. stuff out here. It gets so far away from the car. I don't usually see things launch like that. Ah, there we go. Who gives a fuck about the radio? We can get another one of them easy. It's not even like we were using it at the time. If I see it, I'll put it back in. These actually look like they're not as shiny now. I've never known these, really anything in this game have a damage model, so that would be weird if they added that. I mean, we didn't lose any panels. Didn't lose the engine. I'd have lost the radiator. I'm not too concerned with it. Yeah, 101. We've pretty much done our target distance, so to be honest, I think this is a good place to end it. So now we are pretty much on target on this, aside from that. Trailer. I don't think this car has a turbo. Oh, it does. These are horrible. I don't know if we'll take that. It's in the building I thought it was either. Yeah, we've come somewhere. Probably about 100k or so, 110, 120. And so 117. About my guess. Oh dear, there's two of them. Wish. Out of the way, ladies. Yeah, I'll leave that. I've got a present for you. Jeez, you're not that flying. It's fucking empty, of course. I got that. I think we need it right now, but we'll drop her in the thing. I see some in the distance. Up there. I don't need that. Yeah, well, I guess that's as far as we're going this time. We'll do a manual save, because I like to do those. Are we still recording? We are. And check our distance. 121. I was pretty damn close. But yeah, now you know what happens when you crash. But that's me done for today. I'm High Treason. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part, which will be part 4, I guess. Right, I'm out of here. Ta-ta.